Every true fan knows that the game of cycling is a game of passion, high spirit, and with a whole lot of emotions involved. Sometimes the emotions can get out of control, especially when frustrations set in, resulting in rage, loss of temper, and uncontrollable anger, although these are all part of the game, and that's why we love it. 1. Lars Boom throws a punch.
Wanting to create too much controversy with that.
Lars Boom was disqualified from the Tour of Norway after he apparently elbowed and then punched Van Hecke. In the words of Lars Boom, "He was on my wheel and I almost crashed, so I got a little hot-headed. I don't want to crash, especially when an idiot does something like that." One of the race referees said, "You cannot punch a competitor, and particularly not in the face, so we have taken the decision of taking him out of the race." Boom subsequently apologized, although not to Van Hecke specifically. Van Hecke said that Boom's punishment was too severe. "Sometimes this happens in a race," he said. "He did not hit my face, but in the hip." 2. Carlos Barredo and Rui Costa come to blows.
Between Spain's Carlos the Lycra-clad killer Barredo and the Portuguese counterpuncher Rui Costa.
As a result of an incident during the finish of Stage 6 of the 2010 Tour de France, Carlos Barredo hurled himself at Rui Costa, waving his front wheel in the air and shouting "Hijo de puta." That's Spanish meaning, well, it's quite rude. Mark Cavendish may have taken the sprint to win his second successive stage of the Tour de France, but for once it's not the finish itself that's got people talking, but a bit of fisticuffs afterwards between Quick Step's Carlos Barredo and Rui Alberto Costa of Caisse d'Epargne. Not that it affected the result, with both riders given a time 3 seconds behind Cavendish, the Portuguese Caisse d'Epargne rider finishing 110th on the stage and Spain's Barredo 33 places further back. Both riders were fined 400 Swiss francs for insults, threats, and incorrect behavior. And Reuters reported that Caisse d'Epargne team director Yvon Ledanois had said, "I was told by a race steward that one of my riders had been involved in a fight, but I don't know the circumstances." Ledanois added, "I suppose they were involved in a race incident and that with the sun, spirits heated up. I wanted to talk it over calmly with Rui in the hotel." 3. Andrei Grivko versus Marcel Kittel.
If it was snow, we'd call it a whiteout.
Race leader Marcel Kittel was left with blood streaming down his face at the Dubai Tour, claiming afterwards that he'd been struck by Astana's Andrei Grivko, who's since been thrown off the race. News that Kittel had been attacked by an Astana rider was initially made on Twitter by his Quick Step Floors manager Patrick Lefebvre. It was subsequently confirmed by Kittel, who said after the race, "I got punched by Andrei Grivko from Astana, that's why I had blood on my face, but I didn't crash. There was some confusion in the race. My team worked well for the sprint, but I was not in a perfect position and maybe my head was elsewhere too." 4. Marcel Kittel body slams his bike.
Involved in that too, giant Shimano. Is that Kittel? It is! Oh, and that!
Marcel Kittel proved that he can deal out the aggro too, if only to his bike, during Stage 2 of Tirreno Adriatico 2014. Kittel had been hoping to contest the sprint finish, but a crash put a peg to his chances with 2.5 kilometers to go. He really didn't take it well. He redeemed himself later by tweeting, "I'm very sorry for throwing my beloved giant Propel on the ground. I still love it, we're just having an intense relationship." 5. Chris Froome pushes fan.
Ahead of the race, and Froome behind.
Even the mild-mannered, cool-headed Chris Froome has been known to get riled on occasion, notably on the Col de Peyresourde during the 2016 Tour de France when he lashed out at an encroaching Colombian fan. "Nothing against the Colombian fans," Froome told the press. "I think they're fantastic and bring a great atmosphere to the race, but this guy in particular was running right next to my handlebars and had a flag that was flying behind him. It was just getting dangerous, so I pushed him away. I lashed out and pushed him away." So there you go, it was a push, not a punch or a forearm smash. Froome went on to win the stage, the race, and considerably more money than the 200 Swiss francs fine that was imposed on him by race officials for incorrect behavior. 6. Alberto Contador flicks fan. Alberto Contador had beef with some crazy guy dressed as a surgeon who was running alongside him on Alpe d'Huez in the 2011 Tour de France. He punched him in the face to get him out of the way. However, a punch to the face would be putting it a bit strong. 7. Thomas Vauclair dishes out some verbal.
Yeah! I'm so sorry. Okay, t'as déjà fait du vélo? Sorry.
Everyone's favourite pro cycling gurner, Thomas Vauclair, who retired in 2017, stopped on a climb during the 2014 Tour de France to dish out a lesson in spectating etiquette. The French rider was on a hors catégorie climb at the time. It was obvious the fans were in the way, hence obstructing him. Anyways, one of the fans apologised. 8. Cadel Evans hits out at a reporter.
Worried. It must be very touching when you have the...
An injured Cadel Evans really wasn't into being touched during interviews after stage 10 of the 2008 Tour de France. He seems to hit the mic off his face in a reflex. I guess he didn't like it at all. Evans looked pretty scary, especially for a man who was clutching a cuddly lion at the time. 9. Wiggins throws his bike. It's a classic. How could we not include it? Bradley Wiggins achieved a lot in his cycling career, including winning the Tour de France and 5 Olympic gold medals, and achieving several world records, but unquestionably, his greatest accomplishment was parking his bike perfectly against a wall from half a road width away while having a bit of a strop, understandably, during the 4th stage of the Giro del Trentino in 2013. 10. Sagan vs Cavendish. This one's a questionable inclusion, admittedly, because the incident at the end of stage 4 of the 2017 Tour de France didn't result from a rider getting angry. Rather, things just got a bit tasty in the sprint for the line, as they do on a regular basis. Peter Sagan's elbow flicked out, whether intentionally or in an attempt to regain his balance, and Mark Cavendish went down like a sack of spuds. Cavendish broke his shoulder blade and Sagan was taken out of the race, so there were no real winners here, apart from the other sprinters perhaps, like Marcel Kittel, who ended up with 5 stage victories. Even the best of people get to lose it at times. It seems normal for people to get on your nerves in a while, and getting in control could be hard. Pro cyclists can get mad too. 11. Miguel Ángel López hits fan.
Come ve lo dobbiamo dire, le raccomandazioni, è così bello il ciclismo, è così bello.
The Astana rider lost his cool on the penultimate stage of the 2019 Giro d'Italia after being knocked from his bike by a fan on the road to Cros d'un Montavena. Lopez was among those chasing down the attacking trio of Vincenzo Nibali, Richard Carapaz and Mikel Landa at the time of the incident, and gave the fan in question a few squats before getting back on his bike and eventually finishing 18th on the day, more than 140 behind the men he was catching at the time. 12. Steels throws a bottle at Moncassin. The finishing straight of the 1997 Tour's 6th stage saw plenty of argy-bargy. Eric Sabel crossed the finish line first that day, but was relegated for irregular sprinting. Not far behind, however, then Belgian national champ Tom Steels was getting up to his own shenanigans. In the middle of the high-speed gallop to the line, Steels threw a bidon at Frédéric Moncassin, who'd pulled in front of him. Steels was ejected from the race. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more interesting cycling content like this one. See you next time.